All good. Remember, keep your eye on the objective. Commonwealth need to retaliate. They really need to push the Germans back from this point. They can't really assault any other point. This is so close to their spawn that it would be dangerous just to give this zone up to them. The real question is, though, how are they going to deal with that Panzer J? There's just basically... once again, we've got so many Panzer III heroes in round 1 of this tournament. Here we have a 3.7-inch cannon. There we go, slowly pointing its finger of doom at the Panzer J. Will it hit first shot? No, it doesn't, basically. Second time's the charm, though. Here comes the reload and the fire. It looks like the Panzer J has noticed it's being fired on and trying to make a non-hasty retreat. It's paused for a second. That's a bad idea to do. The impenetrable Panzer III is finally destroyed, which is good news for Seth the Mighty and PerPro, as now they can move their infantry up, close the gap, and destroy any of the scumbags which occupy their side of the map. Unfortunately, though, the sandbags that they placed to defend have strangely enough turned against them as the Germans take the other side of the sandbags. Now we've got a half-track moving in. Ooh, it's getting tense. So tense that my respiratory rate system is failing me as I wheeze into the microphone. Never mind, never mind. Stumble on the half-track appears to be driving over its dead bro. Why, I don't know what's going in Soldiez or Zveroboj's head. But where's this flak? 3.7-inch, not a flak, it's a flak. Happened last game as well, but never mind. Zveroboj half-track being gunned down just by ordinary infantry. That 3.7-inch cannon could really help out here. Although, it looks as if we can steal a half-track for ourselves. And that sounds like a pretty damn freaking awesome idea. Hell yeah, it does. Where are thou German reinforcements, though? There they are. They're hanging in the fog of war behind the half-track and behind the sandbags, of course. But it's not going to stop the tank crew. Even tank crew running to get into this half-track. Although it's a bit too soon to be delighted about capturing the half-track as they steer it into a flak 38. But of course, that was their plan all along, to leave a half-track in the open and for the UK forces to stumble into it and be like, oh, look, free half-track. Of course, they go into it and eventually they get gunned down. Oh, just brilliant thinking, Soldiez. And Zveroboj, you have impressed me today. Team Germany still has a way to go. They've just ticked to 12 points. It's not going to be a walk in a park to hold this area so close to the enemy spawn. If they want to reinforce it quickly, it's going to take them a little bit of time to cross the map. Of course, this is all dependent on whether Seth and PerPro can take out this flak 38, which is covering that point very easily at the moment. We've got infantry moving slowly up, but I don't think they're going to make it. Pinging on the map shows us that Zveroboj has a Nebelwerfer, and you know what that means. Hell yeah, it's Seth's sneaky time. It's going to take some time before he reaches his target, though. Meanwhile, threatening a 4-cap for the Germans. Seth and PerPro are in big trouble now. It looks like all action has stopped for PerPro on the left-hand side, which means he must be focusing his attention to where the Nebelwerfer rockets are landing. This central zone has been neutralized. There's nobody in there at the moment. It looks like PerPro could... yeah, he's slowly crawling up into that crater. So that's good. He'll be capping that zone shortly, but I don't think he'll hold it. And this left-hand point is going up for the Germans. Meanwhile... the central zone is 25% capped for the Germans. They're trying to place some bunkers down. Zveroboj, if he can get those down, he can reinforce it very easily. And the Nebelwerfer is covering all these defences that the Commonwealth forces have put down. There's a lot of sandbags here, but behind him is just doing no good with that Nebelwerfer there. PerPro trying to advance on the left. Zveroboj already has his sandbag lines up. He's firing his little dudes at the enemy, which won't really survive long out here. They'll just get nebbled once again. Daimler looking out on the left-hand side. Needs to look out for the flak 38 and any dangers around here. But I've got to check up on Seth soon. We even have a Panzerfaust guy hanging around here. I would totally say this is the wrong choice, and especially using it on this side. 50 cal ripping into the side armor. But it's time to check on Seth.
Seth!
Never mind, he's going to go ahead and click continue. I do wish he ran into that building though. Neville, once again, firing in the center, killing all those little dudes behind their little sandbags because they cannot protect you. We need some more sneaky saboteurs or some counter artillery for that. We've got yet again infantry moving in onto this left-hand point with that Flak 38 still operational, still fully functioning and firing, killing every one of PerPro's infantry that approaches. But we do have a flare from a saboteur from Seth. That's exactly what we need, but unfortunately it's a little bit off. I don't think it's going to get it. He fires 2 more flare shots. They take a considerable amount of time before they hit, but the first shot actually does get it. It's completely destroyed. The second 2, totally just going to confirm it. That's non-existent anymore. But explosions are explosions. Seth doing a bit of farming there, getting rid of those bushes. No one's going to hide in there anymore. All good stuff. On the right hand side it looks like we've got another sneaky unit, but it's not a saboteur, it's just an SMG soldier. Clearly still trying to think way ahead of the game, because that soldier could eventually at some point sneak behind a tank, lob a grenade and completely destroy it, or just disable it, one of the two. This 3.7 inch cannon not really doing much since its purchase. It's destroyed a Panzer III J at the moment. But I honestly think it could help take out this flak. Maybe even this pack cannon all the way back here. We've got a tank rolling in by the looks of things. Just a tip for anyone out there who didn't know already that you can hear through the fog of war. You can see trees being brought down in the fog of war. But we have a half-track, it's not a tank. Of course, Zveroboj, seeing that the first half-track decoy attack worked, he's going to go ahead and try that again. He's going to run in, get it decrewed, turn it into a trap. It's a trap! Oh wait, no, he's going for the machine gun which has been decrewed. Oh, Zveroboj, you're so mean! Why do such a thing like that? I take no responsibilities as the leader of the InukiTV group for his actions, and I deny that it ever existed. So go ahead and check that out anyway. This half-track has gone way too far into enemy territory. There should be a 3.7 inch firing at it. It does look like there is one. No! It's a Centurion! AKA the mountain, which Zveroboj and Soldiez must conquer. Now, back in the day, or so my history lessons go from Wikipedia, the Centurion was purely a prototype tank at the time and never saw action in World War II. But Seth has stole one from somewhere and brought it to action in this game, and everything you see now is really happening. It happened at some point, and the players, they're not actually in control. All the events are predetermined. And this is completely true because it's a recorded game. Way! But let me get out of my philosophy hat and back into my yellow Power Ranger suit. Excellent exploding grenade. That guy completely vaporizes into dust. Awesome. It appears Commander PerPro hasn't told his infantry that there is a Neville on the field, and that's the reason why there's loads of exploding craters, and that they're being called to the front lines in the first place, because all their brethren have died. No matter, well, I'm sure they'll survive this time round, as the Centurion supports on the left-hand side. It looks like we have a pack cannon moving around trying to get a good side shot with the Centurion's repositioned, takes its shot and completely destroys that very easily. This Centurion, definitely a massive problem. The moving mountain is now etching closer and closer to that point, supporting all the infantry, taking out all those deadly emplacements which prevented them from moving up in the first place. Those emplacements for the Germans aren't wasted though. They've been very effective at holding that point for an extremely long period of time. Seth still not applying his 3.7 inch cannon to any sort of situation at the moment. It just keeps hanging back there, and it's kind of a shame. It's just almost a waste of CP, I would say. As for Soldiez and Zveroboj's resources, they've been very cheap so far. I've not seen any big tanks or anything that seems to be overly costly. I mean, there's been a few half-tracks that have kind of been wasted, but I'm expecting to see some sort of retaliation to this Centurion. There has to be something they can do, or something in the next 5-10 minutes maybe, that can counter this. For now, though, I think they can just hold off, maybe try and capture this central point, and move around that Centurion, just avoid it for now. Of course, that's going to be quite hard considering the terrain on this map. It's very open ground, so the Centurion's going to have great vision, great range to shoot any tanks that sort of approach. As it's not as heavy when it comes to fuel consumption as the King Tiger or Tiger tank, so its maneuverability a little bit better. We've got double machine guns covering this central position, but unfortunately they don't have the point at the moment. So it's still... they need to get some more infantry in there. They seem to have most of the sandbag lines in the central position on the UK side completely neutralised. There's barely anything there. It's good that he's moving his Nebelwerfer around. I think he's just trying to get a better shot than trying to avoid being counter-artillery. We have a lovely Saboteur here. He's lost his hat, though. That's never good. We also have another Saboteur in the background. My only wish is if he just picks up a hat. Any hat will do. He needs a hat to remain cool. And oh my god, these freaking birds are annoying the hell out of me. Yeah, let's go over here where there's some gunfire. Tearing down this little warehouse over here. Who's here? I can't see anyone inside. There we go, we got a pinging there, so... seems like we had a Panzerschreck guy hiding there, trying to get a good shot. This half-track did have a load of commandos in. They've ejected and got out and done whatever they're doing. We've got some artillery landing here as well. From, obviously, these saboteurs. The centre is currently neutral. It appears that PerPro has brought a machine gun to the centre to try and cover that cap as the Saboteur runs back, demolishing both of those machine guns. It's exactly how you want to deal with such emplacements on the field if you can. In the patch, these scouts won't have flare guns, but radio operators will still be around. They can still flare up those targets. It's a really easy way to get rid of them. Pinging away at a tank on his left-hand side with good reason, because it's a Jagdpanther from the Soldiez. The best, most heaviest tank destroyer of them all has no trouble penetrating the Centurion's frontal armor from that distance, but it's still repairable. It looks like he's retreating. Has he noticed he's destroyed it? Or not destroyed it, rather. I don't think he has. He takes a shot at the half-track. Maybe he got a little bit distracted. But he needs to finish the job. He's being very much the James Bond villain right now. He's like, no, I could kill you now, or I could put you in the escapable gas chamber. But even if he does manage to repair that Centurion, the Jagdpanther is just going to completely destroy it again, because it's the best around. No one's ever going to beat you down. Seth the Mighty, what are you doing with your Saboteur again? Just... Still going with the whole Saboteur feel of this game, and I honestly wish they do attack this right-hand point, because it must be fairly lightly defended considering how much concentration there is on the left and central position right now. It looks like he's trying to sneak around, maybe try and get a shot on the Nebelwerfer again. Look, only 2 soldiers here behind a sandbag, and considering the Germans haven't attacked that side of the map as well, I can only imagine it's just slightly defending. I wish they just found out what was there and then maybe attacked it. Maybe this half-track is going to come in and take a look. Who knows? It's great that they've managed to repair the enemy's half-track. They've got to watch out for the Jagdpanther, because that could easily come out from behind their lines and take a shot. We've got another Daimler come out, and this the 7.3, yeah, sure, it's more long than it was originally for. It's still not doing anything, man. It could really do something. Nebels once again obliterating this sandbag line, creating more craters. Now the game thus far is 45 to the UK and 66 to the Germans. That's fairly pretty even, I would say. So a good matchup. Now, if I were to pause the game at this moment and tell these guys to stop painting the Centurion and just frickin' repair it, I always love how they kind of make it like very fleshy green again, or whatever it was when it wasn't destroyed. But